What's going on, everybody? Zach Holt here, Whitetail Properties, Southern Indiana. Well, today it's Wednesday the 29th. It's a beautiful day. It's 45, 46 degrees right now. All this snow and everything is melting away. So I wanted to get out and just, go hiking, honestly. Got a little bit of cabin fever right now. We've been on lockdown with this weather. So today I am Tract 6. Tract 6 is 26 acres, I believe. It has frontage on Old State Road 64. That's where we're at right now. We've got fiber optic internet and we have power. The water situation on this tract, at the end, we've got Tract 5 in front of us, but then at that intersection we have water across the road. So what we're thinking is if we can get Tract 6 in place, we can get a utility easement from Tract 5, which Tract 5 has not been sold yet. So we can put the meter down at the end of Tract 5, have a utility easement. So you'd run a line into Tract 6, but your meter would be up on Tract 5 at the crossroads. But this is a great opportunity. It's a great time of year to come out and walk some of these properties. This property gets pretty woolly, and so right now is going to be the best time. You can actually see the topography because the snow is reflecting. So you can see here where we've opened this up with the forestry mulcher. We've carved out about probably 2 acres here just so you can see, hey, we've got something buildable here. But honestly, you've got quite a bit of space, and I want to explore this property a little bit more. It's getting no love. We're not getting any phone calls on it, and we really should be. It's a beautiful property. Obviously, we've got to figure out this water situation, but come along with me. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive here on Tract 6, and we'll see what this tract's all about, okay? 6. Right. So what I did is my truck's up here. All this could be cleared. I'm still on top of a ridge. This ridge goes ahead and actually flattens out, goes way in here. So you've got the ability to put a driveway through here, stay on top of this ridge, and get way back in here into this property if you want super, super peace and quiet. But there's a drainage, so we're gonna have to stay this side of the drainage. But look at these old, ancient, it's a red oak and 2 black oaks. And then this little one right here is another red oak. So ancient trees right there. But yeah, let's go for a little walk. We'll stay on top of this ridge. This is in classified forest, and this is also the start of, I believe it's the eastern fork of the Patoka River. And so right down here, there's a turkey foot drainage, and I don't know if there's a rise. It'll all be frozen, so this ought to be interesting. This ridge is continuing. It's getting thinner and thinner, but let's walk this ridge out and see what's up. Lot of deer sign in here. It is extremely quiet. The forest is beautiful. It's a pretty standard oak hickory forest for Southern Indiana. It's kind of young, but it looks like it's been managed. It actually looks pretty good. There's some veneer quality trees out here on this ridge. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I've not been back here. This is a stunning piece of property. This 6, guys, I knew it would be. Ooh. I should have worn my brush pants. All right, look at this. All right, guys, this ridge on Tract 6 is absolutely unbelievable. It goes on both sides. It's got giant oaks all down it. Another giant oak. Check it out. Check this out, dude. Check this out. Check this dude out. This is old. This is an old growth timber stand that I really didn't even know it was this good. But this is a perfect example. You can see a managed forest versus an unmanaged forest. Our property line goes right there. And that other property right on the line transitions to almost solid cedar in spots, really heavy mid-story trees, a lot of vines, absolutely taken over. Look at this. Look at this forest. To be able to see this much, this is a full canopy. It's got some giant white oaks, giant red oaks, giant hickory. It is stunning. This ridge just goes and goes. It's a flat top ridge kind of, and then it starts getting a little bit more narrow down here as we get towards the property boundary. But you can see over on that other side, the transition where it just turns to woolly, that is the boundary line. And that's where the property, the forestry's been managed differently. Same thing over here, that's the property line. So everywhere that's open, where you can see the snow still, and that is the property. And we're gonna go down here into this bottom. It looks substantial. This bottom looks substantial. Oh, there's deer. There's deer over there. Of course, they're right on the edge where, you know, this heavy cover is next to this opening. I'm sure there's a ton of acorns and stuff that are still in these woods. There's so many oaks. So we're gonna go down here. The boundary line is marked. I can see a yellow or a, easy now, easy now. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Are you kidding me? I'm carrying look at this. That's a 24, 26 inch tree at chest height. Veneer quality. Beautiful log, worth a ton of money. There's one on the ground. This is supposed to be on the maps the start of the Patoka River, I'm sorry. And no joke, there was a kind of a big waterfall feature that was all frozen. That was really cool. But I'm above that, and no joke, this is literally where it starts. It's gonna be a spring that's gonna come out of the side of this hill. And we're not too terribly far from it. We have to be. So major spring that starts literally a river that starts on this property. How crazy is that? So just look at this property. This mature oak lined ridges. I'm in a bottom right now, and there's a huge white oak right here in the bottom where it's not supposed to be. There should be, you know, walnuts and stuff down here, but here's another one, giant white oak. So I don't know, it is loaded, with giant mature trees. And I'm gonna hike this little branch up here, and it's probably gonna be a spot where it's just bubbling out of the ground, so stick with me. All right, so here's basically what it is. It's not one spring, it's multiple springs. There's a bunch of these little ridges that come together, and there's a spring feeding this, and this is all frozen and wet. There's a spring up here that's coming down. And there's like 5 of them, all right here. All this ground is super saturated, on the verge of thawing and freezing. But here's another one. I think that's an old pecan. Oh, yeah, I think that might be a pecan. Check it out. Here's a pretty good one right here. And there's like 5 of them right through here, and they're all feeding where that starts, that beginning of the river. So mini springs basically is what I'm gonna call this property from here on out. But all these little ridges right here are just lined with mixed oak. Look at that. So I know I keep on going on about the timber, but this thing's been sitting on the market for a little bit as a recreational property. And this is an old logging road right here. Skidder tracks that I'm walking up. Sure enough, absolutely is. So, and there's a stump right there. And there's a couple more stumps. I haven't even been looking for stumps. So their parents, these folks that I'm working for, their dad, he was smart. He managed this forest, clearly managed it. This is an old skidder trail right here, but he knew he had crop trees in here, and that was probably 70 years ago, and they were probably 40 or 50 years old then. But stump, giant oak. Not the straightest, but look at this one, giant. So, all right, guys. Well, here I am back up towards the front of the property. This is really what I've identified as, without a doubt, the best build site on the property. Unfortunately, these saplings have been allowed to take over this part of the property, and it is going to require, probably hiring a dozer to come in here, and that's going to create a bit of a mess. But you've got almost 30 acres with some pretty pronounced gullies that you could probably push some of that over into at the mouth of these at the top. But this whole area right here where these saplings are, and you can see the snow, this is all super flat. This is the highest point on the whole entire property. You've got a drainage over here. You've got a drainage over here. And that's gonna put somewhere in the neighborhood of about probably 6.5, 7 acres in front of you that, let me step out here. All this would be maintained, obviously as yard once you got these saplings taken care of. But here we are, you'll be able to see where I'm parked on the side. So there's my truck over there. Obviously a few of these trees you could leave. Some of them are problematic. I mean, some of them are beneficial species. These are, white oak, but this is a Cullery pear, a Bradford pear. So you'll want to definitely take care and get rid of some of these noxious species. But all this is going to would be basically open pasture. You could obviously clear more of this, the sapling growth that's kind of encroached out into this. But the road is, you can see the electrical pole here. So it goes right there. And I'm probably, right now, I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 300 feet off the road, something like that. So, yeah, So that is, I'm busting through this ice. So that's tract 6, 22 and some change acres right here on Old State Road 64. It's going to be a Stendhal address. We've got electricity. We've got fiber optic internet along our road frontage. You've got beautiful, beautiful mature timber in the back and the start of a pretty substantial river in southern Indiana. You are the headwaters of it. Clear as day. You've got probably five springs that live on this property that start that river. So there's a lot of people that are looking for properties that have springs on them. Water management is obviously a big deal. I don't know the jurisdiction of those springs, but you know, obviously if you're buying it for you know, those purposes, then we can explore that with you. We have some contacts in that realm and we can figure out what the jurisdictional situation is on the headwaters of a named river. But just freshly blacktopped here, track 7 across the road. So, all right, guys, I think I got the cobwebs out, so I appreciate it. If you guys think this is a pretty property and you want to take a closer look, give me or Chris a call, Briar a call, Ryan, any one of us, we're all available. We're ready to get to work. All right, guys, take it easy.